the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports, and welcome to a Tuesday as we are jam-packed again today. Going to be talking about the State High School Football Championship won by the Sandy Creek Cougars yesterday as they picked up a 44-42 win over Stanton to claim the hardware in Class D1. We expect to hear from head coach Andrew Kuda before we get out of here today. Nebraska wide receiver Malachi Coleman is in the news today. He has announced his transfer from the Huskers. The Nebraska men's basketball team will be in action tonight against South Dakota. We had three seniors from the Nebraska volleyball team being picked up by the Pro Volleyball Federation draft yesterday. We'll tell you about that coming up. Hastings College basketball team's on the road tonight, playing in Yankton, South Dakota against the Lancers of Mount Marty. Nebraska Kearney in the NCAA volleyball tournament for the 25th consecutive season. And we had some stuff in the NFL last night. So jam-packed, full of stuff here for this Tuesday as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
And a good morning to you as we get going here on a Tuesday morning and on Thanksgiving break on the teaching side of things, and just one more little duty for me, and then it's off until the Thanksgiving holiday comes to a conclusion. So looking forward to a much needed break here as we get going on a short week.
So we had a thrilling game yesterday in the State High School Football Championship, as we expected, 44-42. Sandy Creek coming out on top and winning the State Football Championship. The Cougars had to make a couple of fourth quarter stops in order to secure the victory in this ball game. Like we said, the defense has played well all season long, and they had to rely on a couple of defensive stops in the fourth quarter to keep Stanton at bay, so to speak. But the Cougars sneak out of there with a 2-point win, 44-42.
Yeah, instant classic on the 8-man side of things, and even into the night as well with that Class A matchup. But that was what we expected, right? Going into that game, Mike, with Sandy Creek and Stanton, the much anticipated rematch, and they're squaring away, getting involved in just a classic contest. And again, I tell a lot of people that, and told a lot of people heading in, if you want to experience what the 8-man game's all about, and 8-man football played at the highest of levels, then you want to watch Stanton and Sandy Creek. You want to glue your eyeballs to that television set because not only is it two teams that are brought up and have great programs with the leadership that's involved, but the kids and the buy-in factor and the pride that they've got playing for that name across their chest. That's 8-man football in Nebraska, and that is exactly, I think, the kind of matchup that we expected, and both of those schools delivered. An absolute thriller on Memorial Stadium.
Ethan Shaw, the star of the game for the Cougars, he rushed for 178 yards and a couple of touchdowns in the ball game. He threw for 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then Barrett Wilkie is a counterpart on the Stanton side. How about this for a game? He rushed the ball 49 times in the game yesterday, 248 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a heavyweight championship fight, Tyson, as one team scored and then the other one went down the field and scored. They go for 2-point conversions. A team gets one and then the other team doesn't. And then there was a couple of turnovers in the ball game that Sandy Creek had. Stanton, following their second touchdown, they went for an onside kick and recovered, kind of caught the Cougars by surprise. Sandy Creek had an interception in the ball game that was late. That could have doomed the Cougars, but again, they came up with a couple of defensive stops and they were able to win the football game yesterday by a score of 44-42.
Yeah, just a classic. Just an absolute classic. The only one regret that I have is, being able to follow the Cougars and watching them all postseason long, and we get to the state championship stage, and I had class duties that had pulled me away from that, as we had to get them out the door with some stuff for Thanksgiving break, and we were able to complete and do that, but kind of competed, and so I was able to give the Sandy Creek football team over to you and let you finish off what was a very exciting 2024 season, and I'm sure the party's still going strong in Fairfield right now. Congratulations once again to Sandy Creek.
I'm glad I didn't let you down. You gave me the steering wheel yesterday. Let me drive the car, so to speak. I'm glad I didn't let you down as the Cougars pulled out a win in the ball game yesterday.
More so than me. Like I'm glad that we our little switcheroo didn't jinx up the Cougars. I'm an old baseball superstitious guy, so I'm always like, hey, whatever we're doing, we got to keep doing it because that's what we're doing, and we're on a streak. I was more concerned that the switcheroo would throw a wrench into the universe, if you will, and that we would see a different result. But the switcheroo worked, and you were able to punch the Sandy Creek Cougars over to the finish line. So kudos on that, Mike.
In the other games, Millard South won in Class A last night to beat Omaha West Side by a score of 27-10. Central Valley thumped Riverside in the Class D2 state championship yesterday, 52-12. So today there's three more games on tap. 10:15. Norfolk Catholic will play Bishop Newman for the Class C2 state football championship, followed by the C1 game between Central City and Wayne. Then tonight the Class B state title game between Bennington and Omaha Skutt, and then that'll put the curtains will come down on the fall sports season as three more state championship games will be played today in Lincoln.
There you go. Can you believe it? Like, we're already saying the fall sports season is coming to a close. I mean, and I had a student that said, well, yeah, we'll see you in December. And I said, well, what? Oh, yeah. We won't come back until December, as we are just blazing through here the fall sports season. Speaking of blazing, we got a question. Tim Stroman ended up picking up his bonus pick yesterday.
I saw that.
He goes 3-3, and he has a few requests in mind, and we can open it up here on the show. He would love the opportunity to come back, but he also said he'd love for the opportunity to be a permanent fixture on the Blazing Five, joining the crew, joining the team. And I said, I don't know. Let me take it up the ranks here. We'll discuss it on the show.
A permanent fixture?
A permanent fixture. Tim Stroman wants to be a permanent fixture on the Blazing Five.
Well, the season's coming to a rapid halt here, so his stay on the show is not a prolonged type of deal here. Unless we can find out something would do for a basketball season.
Not a long-term contract, I don't think, for the Blazing Five. We wouldn't be out any on the bookkeeping side of things.
I say as long as Stroman can keep his head above water, we'll let him continue to pick games on the Blazing Five. But he's
500.
He's in the deep end this week, going 3-3.
He's bobbing up. He's bobbing up and down.
His head is bobbing. So we'll let Stroman in maybe this week if he gets his picks in by Wednesday. Yeah, we got to do Wednesday because you know what? Me and Tyson, we're not working Thursday and Friday.
We are not doing it. So picks got to be in by Wednesday. And IT Man says he's got to go undefeated to be a permanent fixture.
Wow.
IT Man's raising the stakes.
Wow, undefeated.
Go 5-0.
We haven't even done that.
Hell
they're going to be replacing us. Hell, we haven't went 5-0, and we've been doing it all year long.
You're putting a lot of pressure on Tim Stroman, and I think when he's under pressure, that's when he performs the best. So,
I
think you're opening that up to a 5-0 record for Timmy this week.
Let's see. I went 3-2 last week. I'm just looking here. So my overall record right now, hell, I'm not even at 500. I'm at 30. No, I'm at 29. I'm at 29, 31, and 1 for the season. So our IT guys putting a lot of pressure on our predictors.
I guess, here's my theory, is if we bring him on as a permanent fixture of the show, then we run no danger of the bookkeeper having to fork out some gift cards.
Yeah, he'll get the same pay as us. Nothing. Yeah, if Stroman's going to be a fixture on the Blazing Five, he'll get the same pay as you and I do. Nothing.
We'll have to sign that contract. It's a pretty simple contract. There's not a lot of numbers on it.
Yeah,
just a 5 for Blazing 5.
You're listening to Mike and Tyson. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Wherever you're listening to us on, we are certainly happy to have you, whether you're on the website at x-streamsports.com, on your smartphone with our free mobile app, on your smart speaker, on Roku TV, Facebook Live, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We're on all the social media sites now. We got the cameras set up in each one of our studios when they work. Mine had a little problem getting on, but I'm on now. Anyway, we got the cameras set up. If you'd like to watch us work, thank you very much. And if you'd like to chime in and chat with us today, you can do so. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number, 402-834-1330, or you can drop us a message on the Facebook Live. Tyson is monitoring those comments in his studios. This is a rumor that's been out for the past week or so that the Huskers were going to lose wide receiver Malachi Coleman. Well, Malachi made it official yesterday. He released a statement on his Twitter page, and he says he's entering the transfer portal. He was a former Lincoln East standout, rated as a 4-star recruit coming out of high school from 24/7 Sports. The top player in the state of Nebraska in his recruiting class. He was a top 65 player in the country. He played in 5 games last season for Nebraska, had 8 catches for 139 yards and a touchdown. He's been redshirting this year is what the word is in Lincoln. He hasn't really seen the field this year. He was working on his red shirt, which is going to save a year of eligibility, but Malachi is going to move on now as the NCAA gets down to a 105-player roster limit next year. Malachi has a slip down the depth chart there in Lincoln. For unknown reasons, he got a lot of talent, but he's slipped down a depth chart. There's some other wide receivers ahead of him. He doesn't feel like he's got a future at Nebraska, so Malachi Coleman will move on. He'll head to the transfer portal.
And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Like I don't spin or try to spin yarn that isn't there, Mike. But with all the talent that this guy has, and I remember as far as recruits were concerned, he was the one that I was most excited for, and the one that I thought was going to pan out and be a great Husker. To go down on the depth chart, as he has this season, to redshirt, and you're taking a look at the rest of that wide receiver room, and I'm scratching my head. Something else had to have happened, right? I mean, we were never going to find out. We're not going to know, but to go from the highly touted wide receiver recruit, all the talent in the world, to redshirting, to transfer portal, like, I hope we get some sort of closure and some answers on it, because that's a confusing one, and that's a gut punch, and we had heard the rumors developing for about a week and made official yesterday, but would love to get some further explanation on that.
Yeah, Matt Rule was asked about several times during the past couple of weeks, and it just seemed like he was glazing over the fact and the rumors that were out there, and he didn't want to talk about it. Then yesterday he kind of spilled the beans kind of late in the press conference. We got a couple of comments from Matt coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But yeah, Malachi Coleman is going to be moving on. And the coach said yesterday Huskers will probably have between 35 and 50 players enter the transfer portal this year. So Malachi's not going to be the first one. Again, everybody's got to cut down to a 105-player roster for the beginning of next year. Huskers right now are somewhere around 145 to 150 players. So we're going to lose some players. And the offseason is going to be like an offseason like you've never seen before in college football. The portal is going to just blow up. There's going to be a lot of good players down there.
You know who this hurts the most? I mean, and it's not a team, it's not a university, it's a person. I mean, it hurts Matt Rule. He is such a developer of relationships with his guys, with everybody in that locker room. He has really just brought everybody in and made them feel a part of this family. And you're going to basically have to let them know at an early stage, hey, I don't know if you're going to pan out for the rest of this university. And that kills him inside because of the way he is and the type of personality he is. And the Wild West show continues. And how do you establish trust and build relationships with your team and with your players anymore when every single season with this new rule from the NCAA, you're going to have a Wild West and a circus act going into the transfer portal? I mean, it's maddening to me that I think between 30 and 50. Now, obviously, once you get to that 105 limit, then I don't think we see as much turbulence and chaos in the transfer portal. But this is going to be the big off season. That's going to. I mean, you're going to have to hire like 19 more consultants just to navigate the transfer portal, to consult the transfer portal, to see who's out there and who might be able to help out the team. It's going to be chaos. It'll be crazy, but it's eating him inside.
Well, you get down to the 105 player limit, and then you look in the transfer portal. If you bring in one, you got to get rid of one.
Right.
So the transfer portal might be blowing up full of talent because it's just not Nebraska. Every team is going to have to cut down to the 105 player limit. So maybe they don't have a walk-on program that we had, and 35 to 50 guys are going to be sliced into the portal. Maybe 10 to 15 out of every school. But the transfer portal is going to have a lot of talent in it. But hell, if you bring in one, you got to get rid of one.
I've said it before. We could start Extreme Sports U right now and just take a look at that transfer portal, and we could put together a pretty darn good squad just by the players that are going into the transfer portal. Maybe we could join the Mountain West or the Pac-2 as Extreme Sports U and just create a transfer portal team.
Have our own team.
You in?
Good. Does it cost anything?
I don't know. What's it cost?
We're gonna have to have some deals with some of these players. They're all looking for cash. Oh, bookkeeper. I just barely got lunch last night from the bookkeeper. We're not going to sign any NIL deals with any of these guys that are in the portal. They're all looking for cash.
Let's get Extreme Sports 3 operational. Then we can talk about Extreme Sports U.
Yeah, geez. We'd like to have you join us here today. Drop us a message on Facebook Live or wherever you're watching us today, and get involved. What's on your mind here today as you wake up and get going for this Tuesday as we celebrate a holiday week? One more day, and then we're out of here for the week.
One more
I
show.
like that.
Ty is a college instructor.
No, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm reading the comments on Twitch. Where are you going?
What's going on?
I'm just reading the Twitch comments here.
Anything good?
It says Ty's already a college instructor. And Shane says, bye-bye walk-on program.
Oh, yeah, with the walk-on program.
There's zero walk-on program.
Yeah, there's walk-on. No, yeah, that's gone.
So we're caught up on comments. Ryan said Sandy Creek's defense had some great game-winning tackles on defense. Congrats to them. And, we're all caught up.
Yeah, they had a couple of fourth down stops yesterday. As a Stanton, Sandy Creek threw an interception late in the game with about 4 minutes to play when we were down in the red zone. Stanton picked it off, and we just kind of looked at everybody in our press boxes. Oh, no. Oh, no, because that's what happened last year. Yep. Remember, Sandy Creek had a late turnover, and Stanton came back and scored and beat Sandy Creek in the semifinals. We kind of looked at each other. Oh, no. Oh, no, it can't happen again. And Stanton got out toward midfield, and they had a fourth down and a yard to go, and Sandy Creek stuffed them, got the ball back. That was probably the turning point of the ball game. So anyway, you talked about their defense all season long, and it was their defense. Yeah, their offense scored a lot of points yesterday, but their defense came up with 2 big plays in the fourth quarter to win it. Again, we expect to hear from Andrew Kuda today before we get out of here about his feelings on the ball game last night and about celebrate. He might be still celebrating. Who knows?
I was going to say, I bet they had a big party down in Fairfield. So
if not last night, probably tonight. Probably tonight or tomorrow, look out. They probably went out after the ball game. Maybe got the kids something to eat. Got back late last night. They do have class today, I think.
I was going to say, yeah, they still got to get going.
All right, you're waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It's Extreme Sports. It's Huddle Up. It's a Tuesday as we get our first check on news here this morning.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Local news this hour brought to you in part by the Hastings Federal Credit Union, where since 1946, Hastings Federal Credit Union has been a part of the Hastings community, and it's a community that is at the heart of everything they do. As a nonprofit financial cooperative, the credit union is owned by the members who join, and joining the credit union is as simple as opening a primary savings account. Get from point A to point B and everywhere in between with a low-rate vehicle loan. Whether you're committed to camping or love living the lake life, you can also count on Hastings Federal Credit Union to finance your next big toy. They even do personal loans for life's little curveballs. With affordable loan rates, convenient repayment options, and a friendly local service, see for yourself what the credit union difference is all about. That's Hastings Federal Credit Union, 707 North Marion Road, or online at hastingsfcu.org. Hastings Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender. We start off in Merritt County, where over the weekend, following an investigation from the Merritt County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to investigate multiple issues and discovered several criminal violations, which resulted in 46-year-old Kelly Schneider being arrested for child abuse, possession of a controlled substance, and cruelty and mistreatment to animals on 6 counts. Also, 47-year-old Stephen Johnson was arrested for the same charges. City of Hastings is once again partnering with Conservation Nebraska to hold a pumpkin and gourd collection event. The first collection sent over 2,500 pounds of pumpkins to compost. The process minimizes the amount of methane produced by pumpkins that would otherwise decompose in landfills. Typically, more than 1 billion pumpkins go to waste each year. The event will be on December 30th and December 1st. Technology news. Yesterday, Google announced $930 million in investments across Nebraska in 2024 to support cloud, AI, and data centers. The new $600 million data center being built in Lincoln will support construction jobs in the short term, followed by full-time, well-paid positions upon completion. Last year, Google helped support more than $4.4 billion in economic activity for thousands of Nebraska businesses, nonprofits, publishers, creators, and developers. The Kearney Police Department and City of Kearney is pleased to announce that the recent graduation of Sergeant Greg Benson from the Northwestern University Center for Public Safety School of Police Staff and Command. Sergeant Benson is the 19th member of the Kearney Police Department to attend and graduate from SPSC. The Center for Public Safety was established at Northwestern University in 1936 with the specific goal of expanding university-based education and training for law enforcement. The Kearney Police Department anticipates a variety of benefits from Sergeant Benson's attendance at the program. It's 7:22. We'll swing things back over to you, Mike. What's going down in sports?
Well, Kansas is ranked number 1 in the AP Men's College Basketball poll. UConn is second, followed by Gonzaga, Auburn, and Iowa State. Rounding out the top 10 are Houston, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, and Marquette. Creighton is in at number 21. Nebraska is ranked number 25 in the women's poll. UCLA is ranked number 1, followed by UConn, Notre Dame, South Carolina, and Texas. The Nebraska men's basketball team will host South Dakota tonight at Pinnacle Bank Arena. The Huskers are 4-1 in the season after Friday's 74-63 win over Creighton. The Coyotes are 5-2 and are in the midst of playing 4 games in a matter of 8 days. Tip-off for the game tonight will be at 5:30. Nebraska's seniors Merritt Beeson, Lindsey Krause, and Layla Blackwell were selected in the 2024 Pro Volleyball Federation draft on Monday. Beeson was selected number 1 overall by the Atlanta Vibe, who traded up with Indiana to secure the top overall pick. Krause was selected by the Omaha Supernovas in the 3rd round with the number 19 overall pick. Blackwell was picked by the San Diego Mojo in the 4th round with the number 26 overall pick. Nebraska's sophomore Bergen Riley has been named the Center of the Week in the Big Ten Conference. It's the 5th time this season and the 9th time in her career that she has won the award. Riley had 41 assists, 8 digs, 3 kills, 3 blocks, and 2 aces in the Huskers' win over Iowa last week. On Saturday, Riley had 36 assists, 3 digs, 2 blocks, and 2 kills in the sweep over Wisconsin. Hastings College basketball teams will play at Mount Marty tonight. The Bronco men are 1-3 on the season. 0-2 in the conference after Saturday's 82-65 loss to Briar Clough. The women are 3-1. They're 1-1 in the conference after losing to the Chargers 80-67. Tip-off for the women's game will be at 5:30 this afternoon. The men will follow at 7:15. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame show at about 5:15 this afternoon. The Nebraska County volleyball team will play in the NCAA tournament for the 25th consecutive season. The Lopers will battle MIAA rival Washburn in the first round of the Central Regional on December the 5th up in St. Cloud, Minnesota. The Lopers swept the regular season series with Washburn, winning 3-0 in Kearney and 3-2 in Topeka. The Lopers also took the only previous NCAA meeting between the two, 3-0 back in 2012 in a first-round match. Ethan Shaw accounted for 278 yards of total offense and 5 touchdowns yesterday as Sandy Creek beat Stanton 44-42 to win the Class D1 state football championship. It's the first state title for the Cougars. Shaw rushed for 178 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also completed 6 of 9 passes for 100 yards and 3 scores. Barrett Wilkie rushed for 248 yards and 5 touchdowns for the Mustangs. In the other games, Millard South beat Omaha Westside 27-10 to win the Class A state title last night. Central Valley thumped Riverside 52-12 to win the Class D2 championship. Today at 10:15, Norfolk Catholic will play Bishop Newman for the Class C2 championship, followed by the C1 game between Central City and Wayne. Tonight is the Class B state championship between Bennington and Omaha Scott. That one begins at 7:15. NFL last night, Baltimore beat the Los Angeles Chargers 30-23. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson accounted for 3 touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 running. Jackson has now recorded 22 touchdown passes and no interceptions, the most consecutive touchdown passes without an interception in Monday Night Football history. Sounds a check near sports headlines this morning on Extreme Sports. It is now 7:27.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Today, Tuesday, will be the warmest day of the week before a cold front comes in and knocks us back to much colder conditions. Hey, everybody. Tim Jones here today. 48 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, south-southwest wind, 5 to 15 with some gusts to 20 miles per hour. 27 is the low overnight, a chance of a sprinkle or a few flurries I'll carry into Wednesday morning. 38 for the high, breezy again with gusts to 25. 37 on Thanksgiving, 32 on Friday, and 20s into the weekend.
Right now, as you wake up, get going this morning, we've got south winds at 10. It is clear for the most part, 28 degrees in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
This holiday season, take control of your health and give the gift of wellness at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. From November 10th through December 31st, we're here to help you unwind, rejuvenate, and feel your best. Treat yourself or a loved one to our soothing massages, relaxing head spa scalp treatments, and luxurious Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing benefits of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Looking for an extra special gift? Our gift certificates are the perfect way to share the gift of wellness. Plus, become a member and enjoy 24-hour access to our exclusive therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members also save 20% on all services and 10% on products from our non-toxic retail shop. Give the gift of health, peace. Enjoy this holiday season only at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center.
Extreme Sports has been bringing you the exclusive home of Hastings College Athletics, and we're just getting started. Thanks to our incredible sponsors and your support, Extreme Sports 2 has been a huge success. And now we're excited to announce the launch of Extreme Sports 3. With Extreme Sports 3, you'll get even more local sports coverage. Plus, 24/7 access to Sports by Line, where you'll hear the best in national sports talk. Whether it's Hastings College, high school action, or the latest from around the sports world, we've got it covered across all 3 streams. And don't forget, when we're not broadcasting games, join us weekday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for Huddle Up with Mike Will and Tyson Havronik. It's the perfect way to start your day with sports, news, weather, and great local interviews. So tune in, check out all 3 streams, and stay with us for even more sports coverage coming soon. Thank you to our sponsors for making it all possible, and to you, our listeners, for keeping Extreme Sports strong.
Yeah, good morning. You're listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports here today, whether on their website, on your smartphone, maybe on your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. Glad to have you aboard here for this Tuesday. Mike Will along with Tyson Havronik here this morning. Again, you can chime in, give us a call. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. Don't be shy because we're experts on nothing. Yeah, we're experts on nothing. You'll fit right in with us, no problem. Or you can drop us a message on the Facebook Live, and we'll get you the comments throughout the hour here. So,
you know who is an expert on something, though?
What's that?
Our IT guy. I mean, during the commercial break, he's like, I want to try something. And I'm like, okay. And we ended up hooking up an HD camera here in the West Side Studios. And so we're in HD. That's just what we need. My face, my mug in high definition. But here we are. So maybe a little camera switcheroo. We zipped right across and got me rolling.
Am I HD over here?
I mean, you're like, what, 720p? You're close. What? Yeah, you're in the HD camera.
Am I?
Yeah.
So I'm HD over here too?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We're as high def as we get.
Yeah. I noticed you're like clearer
switcheroo.
Now.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the cameras.
I can see clearly now.
Yeah, you're a lot cleaner, a lot clearer. I like that.
It's a little scruffy. I didn't know I would have to shave this morning. I didn't know we'd be switching up cameras.
Is the
wish
camera
I had that warning?
Camera paid for?
Yeah.
I didn't know if the bookkeeper paid the bill. I don't know how we got that HD camera. Boy, things are rolling.
Now Ty needs a makeup artist.
Yeah, now we're gonna have to have a makeup artist.
I'm not up early enough to do makeup. I gotta be real honest with you. I mean, this is a roll out 6:30 alarm clock. I know you start your show much show prep much sooner than I do.
Oh yeah.
I roll out 6:30. What's going on in the world? Okay, type that up into the newscast, and away we go.
Yeah,
that's the way I've always operated. Sometimes, though, the nice thing about this particular show is it starts at 7, so I can roll out of bed at 6:30 and not be 30 minutes late to the office.
Yeah, usually when we got together before in our previous job, you were supposed to be there at 6:30. A lot of times you rolled in at 6:28. A lot of times 6:29.
Well, I mean, the show technically started at 6.
Yeah, but I carried it from 6 to 6:30, and then you blasted at 6:30 like you've been there all morning. I remember
6:28. Come on, man.
I remember those days. No wonder we're not there. Neither one of us. Neither one of us are there.
I gotta be real honest. That tradition carried on everywhere. Everywhere I went. It was.
Really?
I mean, if you said 6 o'clock in the morning, I would be like, okay, cool. I'm not getting there till 6:30. Just know this.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that. You have a trend in your life.
What? Because of what? I mean, I think you've called me a couple times at 6:55, and you're like, "Are you going to be on the show today?" Yeah. I've got 5 minutes, man. Like plenty of time. Come on. That's the way I operate. That's the way I've always rolled, and it rolls at a very high level for me.
All right, Matt Rule. In addition, we were at Memorial Stadium yesterday for the football championship game. Matt Rule was there as well. Had his weekly news conference as the Huskers get ready to play the Iowa Hawkeyes coming up on Friday. Anyway, the coach was asked about his offense last week. Put up 44 points and 473 yards in the ball game against Wisconsin, and the coach says it's plain and simple. Execution was the key last week.
You hear Dana on the headset the whole time. He's just talking about execution. Like the guys who practiced the best on Thursday last week played. Some guys had some false starts and some mistakes on Thursday. He's like, he's out. 13, you're in. Let's go. So IGC got a chance to play, and he made a play in the game. So there's a real focus on execution. And when the guys execute the play calls, and so I think that was the message to the guys, like, hey, if you execute and practice at a high level, you're going to have an opportunity to play in the game, and then when you get in the game, make the most of it. And so when we had penalties, we didn't score on those drives. When we snap the ball on third down, we're going on 2, and we snap it on 1, and all of a sudden the ball's in the quarterback's hands. There's nothing he can do. But when we just settled down and just played, then guys made the plays necessary to make. So it's kind of a blend of everything we've been trying to say to them all year come into life. Like, hey, just go execute. I think the thing Dana's done a great job of is, like I said, he's cut things down to a degree, but also he's demanding that they execute if they want to get on the field. And that's kind of how we handle things on defense. And, I think it's kind of now played over to offense as well.
Coach was also asked about the Iowa rushing attack. He says it is very good.
They've always been the premier outside zone team, counter team in the country. I think Caleb Johnson's playing at an unbelievably high level. They've got a veteran offensive line. I think Coach Lester's brought in. They're doing a lot of what you see NFL teams doing. Like they're running the ball to the open side, then checking it versus any 4-week threat to zap to the front side. So a lot of us who've been in the NFL, it's kind of what we know, and they're doing it really, really well. And I don't want to underestimate. This back is fantastic. I mean, he makes people miss, and he can burst and go the distance. They've kind of done it 2 different ways with Sullivan out there because he was a running threat. They were doing it one way. With McNamara out there, it was a little bit different, and I think that's the mark of great coaches. Whatever quarterback's been out there, they've been able to do it. To stay in the same scheme, but whatever fits that quarterback, and then. Now, as we're not sure who the quarterback is, they've kind of had a hybrid model in between. So I think they're doing a really good job, and they've run some people off the field just by running the football down their throat.
And the coach was also asking about Malachi Coleman as he has entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, Malachi came in, let us know he was going to go in the portal. So obviously wish him the best. Great young man, local guy. Had some really big moments for us last year. Was redshirting and developing, and I think what we're going to this year, I think we're going to probably end up with between 30 and 50 guys in the portal. Just with the roster and all things that are going to have to happen. So. Wish Malachi. I can't say anything but great things about Malachi, and obviously he's not one that I wanted to go in the portal, but I really don't want any of them to go in the portal. I want them all to stay here and develop. It's just the new world we're in. It's going to be different.
And that's Matt Rule yesterday at the news conference in Lincoln as the Huskers get ready to play the Iowa Hawkeyes on Friday. Before we move on, what's your computer clock say right now for a time?
What is my computer clock?
Yeah.
7:37.
Yeah, everything switched to daylight savings time or something. My computer clock went to 7:37. My phone did.
It is 7:37. This show runs from 7 to 8.
Is that right?
Yeah, we're not 6 o'clock, buddy.
We're all right.
We're just fine.
Okay, I thought my computer just went berserk.
There's no alternate universe. It is actually 7:38 outside. And good morning.
I've kind of lost it.
Good morning.
I thought it was 6:30.
You gonna be good to drive for
I don't
your
know.
basketball game tonight?
Hell, what was I thinking?
You're gonna get off on time. I don't know. I know we were talking about rolling in at 6:30.
Yeah.
And I think that probably maybe sets you on the wrong course, but.
My brain is fried today.
It is 7:37, my good man. Now 7:38. Just flipped over.
Well, okay. Forget that last comment. Strike that. Strike that last comment.
This is live. This show is live. If this was edited, that would have been taken out.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I'd have been like, what the hell are you talking about? I had to carry it on and just kind of lower you down nice and easy there, buddy.
I didn't know what I was thinking.
It's daylight savings time at 7:38.
Yeah.
A few more comments coming in before we switch over and roll in. Got a good college basketball matchup tonight. Obviously, the Creighton San Diego State, they take center stage at 1. But then the primetime game on ESPN, Ryan Martin's Kansas Jayhawks going up against my Dookie True blew and through Duke Blue Devils. And Duke is a favorite in that game against number 1 undefeated Kansas.
Really?
Duke is a 3-point favorite. It's very interesting.
That's interesting, yeah. So tonight's a big college basketball game. Duke and Kansas.
You went east to Lincoln, so it wouldn't have been like a mountain time zone switchover. Huh, yeah.
My body must be ready for a couple of days off.
Ready for a Coors
I
Light.
kind of dread. I'm going to Yankton tonight
Yeah.
for basketball. I kind of dread that trip.
Yeah, well, I would dread Wednesday morning show if I was you. That's what I would dread. Getting back in at what, midnight?
Be home at midnight or so.
Midnight.
If all goes well.
I might have to start the show tomorrow. Is that what you're saying?
I'll be here, but I might be in the mountain time zone. Yeah. Hell, I don't even know what I'm thinking. What do you mean? I thought I was going to have something. I thought we had a conspiracy that all of a sudden all my clocks switched to 7:38. It's 7:40, by the way. We expect Andrew Cooter to be joining us. He's the head football coach at Sandy Creek. He'll join us before we get out of here today. Got some new people listening and watching us on Facebook Live. Travis, Matt, thanks for listening to us. Usually we're not this insane at this point in time. We'll usually have things together by this time and not worrying about what time zone we're in. That's not usually what happens on this show, but occasionally our minds kind of go blank. Like we say, we're experts on absolutely nothing. And
including telling time.
Yeah, sometimes things just get off kilter here. NFL stuff last night. Baltimore beat the Los Angeles Chargers 30-23. Battle of the brothers, the Harbaughs. Anyway, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson accounted for 3 touchdowns, threw 2 touchdown passes, had 1 running. He's now recorded 22 touchdown passes with no interceptions, the most consecutive touchdown passes without an interception in Monday Night Football history.
Wow.
Remember when you said my fantasy team was in good shape with Derrick Henry?
Yeah. It wasn't? You
No.
lost by 1.
I lost by 1 point.
Oh, wow. You lost by 1.
With my junior varsity roster in there.
Yeah,
I was actually, I got home from the Sandy Creek game and flipped on Monday Night Football and was doing some basketball prep work for it tonight. So I watched the entire Ravens game with the Chargers last night. So I flipped on my fantasy football monitor to see how I was doing. I only needed 1 point.
1 stinking point.
1 stinking point. You know what? A couple more carries with Henry, I probably would have got it done. But no, the game ends.
It was a topsy-turvy week. I fell to the last place team. I lost to Dennis. I might as well
nobody loses. Nobody loses to Dennis.
I might as well wear a chicken suit tomorrow for the show.
I got one.
Did you find it?
Got one that I would loan to you. You wear a chicken suit.
Oh God, lost to Dennis.
Yeah,
what a miserable week. I was also on bye. I was in bye week hell too.
Fantasy team, I scored 54 points. That's embarrassing. I had to quit. 54 points.
Just quit.
God. 54 points at fantasy football. I had to quit.
I have a feeling I've got a few players that are going to splash in the waiver wire coming up this week. I'm going to just gut my roster.
Really? I mean, good. I could steal.
I lost to Dennis.
Nobody loses to Dennis. You know what, though? You're going to have to hear about it. Dennis is one of those guys. He don't pick up a lot of wins during fantasy football. He's one of those guys, though. If he beats you, you'll probably hear it for the rest of the year. I beat you.
Like the meme with the guy on the third place pedestal getting the bronze medal and rubbing it in everyone's faces.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a bronze medal. How come we didn't
Betty's
get
good in fantasy NASCAR, though.
And we won that. I did.
Oh, nice.
Shane and I won that.
I gotta get involved in some fantasy NASCAR. I know nothing about fantasy NASCAR.
That's all right. You picked the winner of the championship.
I picked the championship. I'm 1 for 1.
You didn't know a damn thing about NASCAR racing.
Yeah.
Just picked the 4 drivers. Oh, I know Joey Logano. I've heard of him before.
Rock and roll.
Let's pick him. He'll win the
Chicken
championship.
suit in high definition, in bold. Eric is excited about it. Lou Dog says Rock Chalk Jayhawk. We also we have a call and a request in for a traffic report every 7 on the 6s. I think that was in regards to the 6:30 time zone.
Traffic report.
Traffic report.
We could have a traffic report on this show.
6s. Oh, good
We could
stuff.
have a traffic report on this show.
Good stuff.
Hastings College basketball teams were on the road at Mount Marty tonight. Broncos trying to find the winning combination. We lost a couple of games in Sioux City on Saturday against Briarcliff, so a very short turnaround as we got to Yankton tonight. We got to Mount Marty. Women's game will be at 5:30. I have to boot scoot up there here in a little bit. 5:30 for the women's game. It'll be 7:15 for the guys, 5:15 for the pregame show tonight. Hastings College playing at Mount Marty.
And we got a message from IT, wants us to pass along some new and exciting news as far as how you can catch this show and when you can catch this show. We're going to have a replay of Huddle Up coming up on Roku. Today's episode will be on by 9 a.m. every day. And so we'll have a replay of Huddle Up coming up at around 9 a.m. on the Roku channel. So you can check that out if there's anything you missed, or if you want to rewatch the shenanigans of the time zone change in the Twilight Zone, feel free.
Yeah, I don't know why you want to listen
9
to
a.m.
this
Central Time.
Yeah. I don't know why you'd want to listen to this show again. We're just happy that you're listening to it for the first time.
And Rakuda coming up in about 4 minutes here on.
Oh, wow, that's right.
Yeah.
Are we going to do news first or after, Andrew?
You want to roll in with news first?
All right, let's get news
on.
Yep. You never can tell what we might talk to Andrew about. Let's roll with the news first. 7:46 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
News this hour brought to you in part by the Hastings Federal Credit Union, lighting the way to financial success since 1946. Hastings Federal Credit Union, proud to be your trusted long-term financial partner. You can access your accounts wherever you go with mobile banking, bringing you financial peace of mind right from the palm of your hand. Securely and conveniently manage your accounts and loans at any time from anywhere. Transfer funds, deposit checks, pay bills with bill pay, and quickly access your account balances to help you cover whatever little curveballs life throws your way with mobile banking today. One of the many ways you can experience the credit union difference. Hastings Federal Credit Union, 707 North Marion Road, or online at hastingsfcu.org. Hastings Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender. The city of Hastings is once again partnering with Conservation Nebraska to hold a pumpkin and gourd collection event. First collection event sent over 2,500 pounds of pumpkins to compost. The process minimizes the amount of methane produced by pumpkins that would otherwise decompose into landfills. Typically, more than 1 billion pumpkins go to waste each year. The event will be on December 30th and December 1st. Yesterday, Google announced $930 million in investments across Nebraska in 2024 to support cloud, AI, and data centers. The new $600 million Google data center being built in Lincoln will support construction jobs in short term, followed by full-time, well-paid positions upon completion. Last year, Google helped support more than $4.4 billion in economic activity for thousands of Nebraska businesses, nonprofits, publishers, creators, and developers. And the Kearney Police Department and City of Kearney is pleased to announce the recent graduation of Sergeant Greg Benson from Northwestern University Center for Public Safety. Sergeant Benson is the 19th member of the Kearney Police Department to attend and graduate from SC. The Center for Public Safety was established at Northwestern University in 1936 with the specific goal of expanding university-based education and training for law enforcement. The Kearney Police Department anticipating a variety of benefits from Sergeant Benson's attendance at the program. 7:48, I'll take things back over to you, Mike. What's going down in sports?
Well, Kansas is ranked number 1 in the latest AP men's college basketball poll. UConn second, followed by Gonzaga, Auburn, and Iowa State. Rounding out the top 10 are Houston, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, and Marquette. Creighton is in at number 21. Nebraska is ranked number 25 in the women's poll. UCLA is ranked number 1, followed by UConn, Notre Dame, South Carolina, and Texas. Nebraska wide receiver Malachi Coleman is entering the transfer portal. The former Lincoln East standout was rated as a 4-star recruit by 24/7 Sports as a top player in the state and a top 65 player in the country. In 5 games last season, Coleman had 8 catches for 139 yards and a touchdown. He was is redshirting this year and has not seen the field. The Nebraska men's basketball team will host South Dakota tonight at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Huskers are 4-1 in the season after Friday's 74-63 win over Creighton. The Coyotes are 5-2 and are in the midst of playing 4 games in an 8-day stretch. Tip-off for the game tonight will be at 5:30. And Nebraska's seniors Merritt Beeson, Lindsey Krause, and Layla Blackwell were selected in the 2024 Pro Volleyball Federation draft on Monday. Beeson was selected number 1 overall by the Alav Vibe, who traded with Indy to secure the top overall pick. Krause was selected by the Omaha Supernovas in the 3rd round with a number 19 overall pick. Blackwell was picked by the San Diego Mojo in the 4th round with the number 26 overall pick. Hastings College basketball teams will play at Mount Marty tonight. Women's game at 5:30. The men to follow at 7:15. We'll have the action here on Extreme Sports. In the state high school football playoffs yesterday, Sandy Creek beat Stanton by the score of 44-42 to win their first Class D1 state football championship. Omaha Westside lost to Millard South in the Class A championship game 27-10. In the Class D2 game, it was Central Valley over Riverside 52-12. Today at 10:15, Norfolk Catholic will play Bishop Newman in Class C2, followed by the Class C1 game between Central City and Wayne. Tonight is the Class B state championship between Bennington and Omaha Skutt. In the NFL last night, Baltimore beat the Chargers by the score of 30-23.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Today, Tuesday, will be the warmest day of the week before a cold front comes in and knocks us back to much colder conditions. Hey, everybody. Tim Jones here today. 48 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, south-southwest wind, 5 to 15 with some gusts of 20 miles per hour. 27 is the low overnight, a chance of a sprinkle or a few flurries I'll carry into Wednesday morning. 38 for the high, breezy again with gusts of 25. 37 on Thanksgiving, 32 on Friday, and 20s into the weekend.
Right now, we've got south winds at 10, clear skies 28 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydromassage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
All right, this is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Mike Will, Tyson Vronic, 7:53 Central Time, Central Standard Time.
7:53 Central Standard Time, and a good time to head down to the Hill. I would say so myself, as we are welcomed in and pleased to be joined by state championship head coach Andrew Kuda from the Sandy Creek Cougars. Coach Kuda, you got us?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, welcome to the show. Welcome to Huddle Up. Again, congratulations on a perfect season over there in Sandy Creek as the Cougars go undefeated. An absolute thriller yesterday at Memorial Stadium in that matchup and highly anticipated rematch with the Stanton Mustangs. Just walk us through everything, your emotions right now and what you're feeling the day after.
Yeah, what a game. It was just an unbelievable game to be able to be a part of. We have so much respect for what those guys do. We think they're really well coached. They got some tremendous players. They played the game the right way. So we just feel really thankful to be able to share the field with them yesterday. It really hasn't set in yet, I don't think. I couldn't be more proud of our guys. I couldn't be more proud, especially of the senior class. They've worked their butts off to be able to get to this point, and they really earned it every step of the way. So I'm especially happy for those guys.
Coach, talk about the two defensive stops in the fourth quarter. You guys hanging on to the lead, and really it was your defense that rose the occasion later in the ball game. Two big defensive stops while Stanton was trying to make a late run to get you guys.
Yeah, we really felt like our defense did a great job of just hanging in there. Stanton's an outstanding offensive team. They do what they do, and they do it really well. And we felt like we were making them earn it each and every step of the way. They were able to put the ball in the end zone a number of times, but we didn't feel like we gave them any of them. We feel like they had to earn them. So that we were really proud of the way those guys hung in there, and we knew, coming into it, and especially after halftime, that it could come down to just getting a stop defensively. And thankfully, we were able to find the ones that we needed at the end of the game.
Again, Coach Andrew Kuda joining us here on Huddle Up this morning as we recap what has been a fantastic season for Sandy Creek football and capped it off with a state championship last night. I guess I got to ask you first and foremost, how's the sleep been this week? I know that probably didn't get much leading up to the state championship game, and certainly with celebrations and all the excitement from the win and hoisting that trophy. I'm sure you're excited to get to Thanksgiving break and excited to get some sleep finally from your standpoint, Coach.
Yeah, we had a really great week of practice, a great week of preparation. I think our guys handled it the right way. They came to work focused every day and just really focused on the task at hand and what we needed to do. I'm really proud of the way they handled the moment. They really just played for each other last night, and I feel like that's the reason we were able to be successful. When it comes to the week-long preparation, it was definitely out of our routine. But like I said, I just feel like our guys handled it really well. And I had a lot of confidence going in. We felt like it was going to be a great game. We felt like it was going to come down to, somebody forcing a turnover or somebody getting a stop. And we were lucky enough to do that at the end.
Coach, talk about your experience of playing at Memorial Stadium yesterday.
Yeah, what an unbelievable experience. Got there about 2 hours before kickoff. Thankfully, there was so much going on pregame that we had to take care of that didn't really get a chance to get nervous or anything like that because it was just one thing after the other. But I feel like our guys handled it extremely well. It kind of set in when we were able to kneel it at the end of the game that we found a way to win, and just really the rest of it's a blur. I'm really looking forward to going back and watching the film, not necessarily from a coach's perspective, but just from a fan's perspective. I'm excited to go back and watch it.
Talking just a little bit about this community and the makeup and shakeup here of Sandy Creek schools, and we talk about the building this program and putting Sandy Creek football on the map, Coach. And it's taken not only buy-in from the players and what they do each and every day on the practice field and in terms of their preparation for taking things one game at a time, but you've got it from the community as well. I mean, the improvements to the hill with the giant scoreboard and everybody that's involved. This community has really got behind this football program. How has that helped propel the brand of Sandy Creek football over the last 3 years?
Yeah, we've been so fortunate to have so much support in so many different ways and on so many different levels. From the parents, trusting us with, guiding the young men on our team for the last however many weeks. The financial support has been outstanding. We have everything that we need and then a lot more. So we're just really, really fortunate to have that. It's been really cool to see the community come together and buy into it. It's a program. It's a school that I graduated from, 11 years ago now, and so I take a lot of pride in this program, and I am really proud of the program, and it's really cool to see all the support from that perspective. It's been really special.
Coach, a lot of seniors had a big part in the championship yesterday, but also during the game yesterday, had a lot of underclassmen as well get some playing time. What about the future of Sandy Creek football? Looks like you got some kids coming up for you.
Yeah, nothing's guaranteed, but we feel like we're going to have an opportunity to be really solid again next year. We were fortunate to have an outstanding senior class, and I couldn't be more proud of those guys, but we do have a number of guys returning to have a ton of playing experience. We have a number of starters returning on both sides of the ball, and we feel like we can be really competitive next year. It won't look the same. Things will look a little different here and there with personnel and things of that nature. But we feel like we can be really competitive next year as well.
Coach, let's talk about your seniors as you send them off with the state championship trophy as they get to put one in the trophy case for the first time at Sandy Creek High School. Talk about what this senior program has meant to not only the program itself and being a Cougar, but meant to you on a personal level.
Yeah, I couldn't be more happy for those guys. Those guys have earned it every step of the way. That group accomplished something that nobody at Sandy Creek has ever accomplished before, and they worked for it, and they earned it. Those guys came in a program that had won 3 games. The previous 2 years, their freshman year, they won 3 games. That was a team that a number of those guys started on, and the ones that didn't start, a lot of them played. And then to make the transition to 8-man, and to be able to do that and find some success in that first year, and then taking the next step last year and coming up short. They just never faltered. They never wavered. They just kept working and working and working, and I just couldn't be happier for them. That's of all the emotions I felt yesterday, for sure the number one was just how happy I was for that group of guys and what they meant to this program, and I'm really happy they were able to go out as champions.
All right, so Andrew Kuda again joining us on Huddle Up here this morning on Extreme Sports. When's the big celebration down there, Coach? Is that in the works yet?
I don't know. It'll be interesting to come. A lot of those things, those are so far above my pay grade. I just show up where I'm told to. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I know we have a fall sports banquet coming up next week. We play a basketball game next Thursday, so it'll be interesting to see how all that shakes out.
All right, we appreciate your time. I know you got a busy day planned for today, but thanks for spending a couple of minutes, and we thoroughly enjoyed bringing you Cougar football on Extreme Sports. The playoff run was a hell of a run. We had a good time yesterday at Memorial Stadium, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Coach Andrew,
thanks
again,
a lot,
thank you.
Guys. I appreciate it all.
Yep.
Thanks,
Thank you for
guys.
everything, man.
Mm-hmm. Yes, take care.
All right, we'll see you. Andrew Kuda again, the head football coach at Sandy Creek, joining us here on Huddle Up.
What a great run. What a great guy. I mean, and I've said it, told you a couple different times, from Sandy Creek's perspective, they're bringing a Blue Hawk to bring them Cougar football, and they rolled out the red carpet from day one. I mean, and it's from, the accessibility for Coach Kuda all the way to Mr. Bohr and what he was able to hook up with some IT work over there to Greg Schwartzendruber for making sure we had our spot each and every week. They were just tremendous out there in Sandy Creek, and I couldn't be more proud and happy to see them come home with the state championship. So great way to cap off here on a Tuesday show. Here as we are just a few minutes past overtime.
All right, we'll have a basketball coming up for you tonight. Be on the road with the Hastings College basketball teams. Broncos trying to put one in the win column here tonight. They'll be in Yankton, South Dakota to take on Mount Marty. Women's game will be at 5:30 tonight. The men's game will be at 7:15. We'll have the action here on Extreme Sports beginning with a pregame show at 5:15 this afternoon. Coming up on the show tomorrow, it's Wednesday. And it's going to be a Blazing 5 day.
Blazing 5 Wednesday. Get your picks in.
Yeah, because Tyson and I were taking off Thursday and Friday. We ain't working.
We are not working.
We refuse to work. We're not working Thursday and Friday, so we're going to have our Blazing 5 picks tomorrow morning at 7:30. We're going to let Tim Stroman join us again this week because he got to 3-3 this week. He calls it a winning week. we'll go along with that. 3-3 this week. We'll have a spot at the prediction table again. We'll have our predictions tomorrow at 7:30 for the weekend in sports. So
yep, and we'll quickly run down and catch up on the comments here. The question from Travis about did he hear rule correctly? 30 to 50 guys into the portal. Yes, welcome to the new reality of college football here with the new rule of the 105 from the NCAA. So 30 to 50 guys potentially hitting the portal for the Skurs. Skurs versus San Diego tomorrow night, but it's Creighton versus San Diego State this afternoon at 1 o'clock according to my sports app. And then again, the big game between Duke and Kansas for the nightcap. So there's your TV guide.
All right. We'll do it again tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. Thanks for joining us on Extreme Sports.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.